obviously. So that doesn't mean that you should go ahead and write your 10 questions right now. Wait until something comes up. What's next here? And the way we'll do that is that we'll read the question, we'll explain how we understand it, and because we know who would ask the question, we'll allow you to elaborate if you so choose. We'll allow you to speak to the group and elaborate on your question. So you don't have to worry about writing your question, so it's, everything is there, just as long as we know what it's about. Please make sure you keep your comments brief, about a minute or so, just for the purpose of time, and please make sure the questions are appropriate. I don't want it to get into, we don't want this to be a forum for, getting angry about some grievances or something like that. So please make sure the questions are appropriate. And if I cannot do it more, if I couldn't say it more enough, please take your microphone. Test your microphone.
Let me just jump in here, Greg. It's Mark.
Yep.
If anyone loses their questions window, or if they don't have a questions window, if you go to the top of the control panel under the View menu option, and there is a questions option that you have to have checked off. So just in case anybody doesn't see where they can ask questions, that's where you would have to go to check under View Questions. Okay.
Right. Good stuff. And Mark, if my sound is breaking up, do let me know, because I realize that my connection is degrading here. So
sure,
do, give me a kick.
You sound pretty good.
Good. I sound beautiful. Excellent. Let's move on then. Okay, we've got around 14 people joining, so we'll just move on to the answers to your questions. The list of questions has changed a little bit than what I originally posted a few days ago. I've added as many questions as I could that came up recently. If I've missed something, we can ask later on. All right, so let me move to the first question. Will there be a non-Facebook version of ROE? Will there be a way to log in outside of Facebook? And before I answer that, I should mention that most of the questions here are as they were asked, so we haven't really changed them much. We just plugged in the questions more or less the way they were asked. So just remember that. So will there be a non-Facebook version of ROE? The answer is that we don't have currently, at the moment, we don't have any particular plans to do so. Realm of Empires was always built so that it can run outside of Facebook or under any social network. However, we don't have any plans to do that right now. We are at the moment tied in with Facebook somewhat, and it will take some time to replace the features that are Facebook dependent. And we don't see any big benefit of doing that, so it just never really was scheduled for development to allow a outside of Facebook login. All right, next question. What will be done about speeding up of current realms? And there was a comment that user voice is not working, and how do we truly poll active members, active players? I believe most of you already know the answer to this because of what we responded on user voice. So what we did, we thought about it for a while, and we figured the best way probably would be for the players in the realm to be able to create a petition, get a certain number of people supporting it, and then we'll be asking everybody. So for those of you who are maybe not aware of the exact steps, to do that, to create this petition, get a moderator to post a poll on the realm-specific forum and ask whether players want the realms sped up or speed increased. If you get 75% votes supporting your petition to increase the speed, with at least 20% of players from the realm voting, then we'll consider that to be a valid petition, and we will create an in-game poll to actually ask all the players in the realm what they want to do. And if 75% of active players decide, or current players decide that they want it to be sped up, we'll speed it up, and we'll then probably follow up with another question, another poll, asking exactly how we should speed it up, whether 10%, 25%, just troops, things like that. And we'll accept a petition like this every about 6 months. In general, we are very hesitant to speed up previous old realms because, again, a lot of players who are playing on it like the speed the way it is. They like the fact they don't have to deal with attacks every weekend. like the fact they can have a month of break because somebody else is rebuilding. So because of that, we do hesitate to make any changes, and we want at least 75% of people on the realm agreeing for the speed up. All right, moving on. Next question. Again, if you have questions, please feel free to ask them in the questions panel, and we'll get to them at the very end. Would be good to have a poll in the in-game panel, and the question is, why are we not doing more polls in-game? The answer is, again, it's a bit time-consuming to create those, and we found that in many cases we just want, if we just want an idea of what players think, it's sufficient to ask on the board, on the forum, and we get an idea of what players are thinking with a small sample, and if we want to get everybody to vote, then we put an in-game poll. If there's a particular thing that you guys think we should ask, or you wanted to ask, then by all means, if you create a user voice comment to ask this in the game, we could definitely consider doing that. Okay, moving on. Can such a meeting be held, meeting like this I'm assuming, on regular basis, perhaps quarterly? Definitely. We've wanted to do that for quite a while. In fact, we often, in our status meetings, been thinking about this. But like with many things in in the world, we prioritize and usually don't get to this because of all the questions that come up, exactly how we're going to handle, what tool we're going to talk about. So we would like to hold more meetings like this, and we'll, if there's, you guys like the way this, the way this meeting will hold more. We'll be able to hold different kind of meetings, not only the one meeting where I'm just doing my monologue here answering questions, perhaps more of a round table, discuss features, things like that. We can definitely consider doing this.
Yeah, Greg, it sounds like you've been breaking up for about a minute.
I have here that my connection is breaking up. All right. Then, Mark, if you can, I'll maybe just try to, but if you can take the next questions. Maybe next question,
Sure.
I'll reconnect.